It's time to take the next massive leap forward. Introducing the new Autodesk Forma.
Welcome to today's session. This is a practical session on getting more out of Autodesk Forma, the industry cloud that Autodesk Construction Cloud officially joined earlier this year. Here's the tension most teams on the platform feel. The licenses are paid for, the projects are uploaded, but somehow the real work keeps happening around the platform instead through it. Files saved locally, data copied into spreadsheets, workflows scattered across channels. The result is, of course, noise, duplicated effort, unclear processes, and a platform that isn't quite pulling its weight. Over the next 75 minutes, we're going to change that. You'll walk away with a clear view of how Forma genuinely works in practice, a framework to simplify and standardize usage across your teams, clarity on which workflows move work forward, and which ones just create noise. What the Forma rebrand actually means for you, because it has been changed since March, with of course open Q&A throughout. So bring your questions in. This is built to be practical. Moving forward, just a simple introduction of who we are as Accienta. Before we dive in, a quick word on who we are and why we're hosting this. Accienta started in 2017 with a clear goal to help our clients achieve digital connectivity and seamless work management throughout Autodesk products. As you can see, these are the services we're offering. But why are we offering them? Because from the day one, our vision has been clear and simple. We don't want to be seen as just another Autodesk reseller. We want to be the partner that helps you actually achieve what the system was meant to deliver. As you can see, these are the values that we offer. And of course, we offer even more. Because here's the truth. Buying the product is the easy part. The real value comes from how well it's optimized, how fully its capabilities are used, and how well it aligns with your company's structure, processes, and people. And of course, throughout the years, we have been awarded with Autodesk Partner Awards and of course ME Construction Awards. And that's where we come in. From the very start of our engagement, we take the time to understand your business so we can guide you, not just to sell to you. And because technology never stops evolving, we make sure we evolve with it. So you have always a partner who's current, capable, and committed. And of course, meet our team. This is the people behind Accienta. And of course, in today's session, alongside our technical team, which is, of course, we have Toleen Awad. And of course, we have our digital engineering lead, which is Bassel Hesham. We're here to position ourselves as your trusted partner for professional services, whether that's customizing the system, implementing it to fit your needs, and training your team so they're fully equipped to do their best work. And today's speaker, of course, like what I mentioned, Toleen Awad, our customer success strategist. Toleen makes sure we close every gap you may encounter from the moment you purchase the product through getting started, customization, and implementation. She'll be your point of contact whenever issues come up, and she's exceptionally well equipped to guide and troubleshoot alongside you. And of course, we have Bassel, our digital engineering lead. Bassel brings deep expertise in Autodesk Forma, including process, structure, workflow, and management. With his years of experience, he knows exactly how to help your team get the best out of the platform and make sure you're using it to its full potential. So Bassel, over to you.
All right, thanks, Isabella, for the introduction. Today's agenda, we will talk about the cost of noise and what do we actually mean by noise in our field. Then we will go to a quick overview of what actually changed. We, of course, all of us heard about the transitioning to Forma from Autodesk Construction Cloud. That happened at the end of March, and we are giving a brief of what actually changed. And then we will share with you the control framework. How do we see the best approaches for our clients to standardize their approach to reach the maximum value from to get sorry the maximum value from the platform, as well as a way to structure your success, which is how basically we approach every case or every client from the beginning. And you can use it as well to manage your approaches with your internal teams, with your company. We were sharing like basically our experience from the past years in the process of implementing Autodesk Construction Cloud, which is now Forma. So stay tuned during this webinar, and hopefully we'll get the best value out of it. Next slide, please. So let's start. Let me set the stage before we dive in. What do we mean by noise? Like it's a strange word. We probably don't associate it with the construction tech or the digitalization field. We are not talking about the noise on the job site. It's a different kind. It's a kind of noise that we feel we see that hides in our workflows, in our tools, in our data. Next slide. By the end of this section, you will recognize it everywhere. So as I said, it's not noise on the job site, but we will see on the next slide right now, what do we mean actually by noise? So next. Noise, it's not the absence of technology, it's the presence of technology without structure. So nowadays, like the key insight from the construction industry that everyone invested in some sort of platforms, invested maybe in one, maybe in two, maybe in 100 platform. So the technology gap is not existing as it was in the previous years. The problem right now is more, the absence of technology. It's more what happens when technology arrives without structure, without standards, without a plan for how it all connects. That's noise, and it's hiding like in every organization we are dealing with right now. Some noticed the effects of it, some has not yet. So we are gonna share from experience how to handle it. Next, please. So noise actually looks like how noise actually looks like in our daily life. It looks like scattered workflows. It looks like the same task being done four different ways across the different departments, across the different projects phase. No one's wrong. There's just no standards for the platform usage. Inconsistent setups. Every new project means a new implementation, starting from the beginning, relearning where things live, where the folder structure, permissions, templates, workflows are all different. Tool overlaps. As I said, right now, whenever we are working with any organization, we notice that they might have a lot of tools overlapping on their usage, but it's basically due to the different the inconsistent coordination between the departments. So you might track your site issues in three platforms. You might track your drawings in two or three ways. And till now, there is no single source of truth. Everyone's looking at the latest, but no two people from different departments mean the same thing. This is like the daily tax of noise, and most teams or most organizations currently just accept it. Next. 95%, that's not my number, that's the industry benchmark according to Autodesk market research. 90% of all construction data that gets generated is never queried, never analyzed, and never turned into a decision. And the cost is 1.2 trillion globally, lost every year to poor data quality across construction. This is not a rounding error, like this is the industry biggest invisible leak. Next, please. On a course of one project, this might be like frustrating, an annoyance, something you work around. But what happens when this is the pattern across 10 projects? What if your organization is handling like 50 across your entire portfolio? The numbers gets like very ugly very fast. So the data is incomplete and unreliable. We all know that feeling. You pull a report and you don't quite believe it. You have to get to the source to check it again. So the data, so nobody trusts it. The trust is being broken. Then that turns into nobody is using it. The platform you invested in becomes more of a documentation tool or a shelfware. The data just sits there untouched. This is the trust gap, and it's self-reinforcing. The less people using the system, or if you are using multiple systems, the more complicated and the worse the data gets, which makes even fewer people trust it. Next, please. Now, wasted data and money are bad enough, but noise does something even worse. It erodes trust. Here is like a little bit of math from what we have noticed. You invested in Forma, for example, as your source of truth A. You are using you are using your old processes, you are using your old WhatsApp spreadsheets out of Forma, so you have your source of truth B. Now you are running two systems, so the result isn't usually like you imagine. It's not you that you will get like 50% of the value of using Forma or any platform. You are getting basically the zero. Two system means that nobody knows which one to trust. So neither one gets used properly. You didn't add a backup like by adding your old processes or keeping it while using a new platform. You doubled the confusion. Next slide, please. And that doesn't this noise doesn't show up on your profit and loss on your P&L. The leak from all of this does. It turns up as a days. For example, every RFI that lives still in mail instead of a structured workflow takes 3 to 5 extra days to resolve. It might get lost. Multiply that by hundreds, like maybe you have a 500 RFI in your project. So this leads to a significant loss of days for a simple activity. It leads to a rework, teams building, of course, of the wrong versions of a drawing. That's not a process failure mostly, it's a version control failure, and you paid for it in the field. It appears as hours lost re-explaining, researching for the information, and it appears like the biggest way it appears is the lack of trust in the platform. Once teams stop trusting the platform they are using, the system, they build a shadow one. So they go back to their WhatsApp, they go back to finish it in what we call a shadow process, duplicating the work, leading to unclarity of circumstances and loss of trust in the platform as a whole. Next slide. So basically, this is the noise. This is what I wanted to set up before we start diving into our today's webinar. It's not, the summary is, it's not a single broken tool. It's not a bad decision. It's a compounding pattern that, of course, most of you notice across all of the projects. It's a scattered workflows that creates inconsistent data, that erodes trust, drives workarounds. And here is the thing, it compounds. Like you might not notice the effect of it on a single project, but it compounds on every project, adding a significant damage. But it doesn't have to be this way, and this is what we are going to share with you on the rest of webinars. So first, let us take a quick look on Autodesk Forma, on what has changed with my colleague Toleen, and then we will get back again. Now to you, Toleen.
Thank you, Isabella and Bassel, for the introduction. So this is just like a very quick infographic of what Forma is, or how Forma is going through all of the project life cycles, from design, pre-construction, to build, all the way to operate. Now, before I get into anything of that, let me firstly introduce the subject for today. Next. So 6 weeks ago, March 24th, Autodesk named Construction Cloud to Forma. We fielded a lot of nervous emails about it. So let's clear it up in the next few slides, what actually moved, what didn't, and what's genuinely new. Now, before we get into the actual changes, I just want to show you how we got to Forma. So Autodesk led, if we can go next. So Autodesk led 3 digital transformations in the last 40 years. So the first one was the move from hand drafting to electronic drawings with CAD and AutoCAD. The second one was, next please. So the second one was 20 years ago with the introduction of BIM. It was moving from 2D with 3D with model-based approach, and it was 3D parametric modeling for all disciplines in ACC. And then finally, about 6 to 7 years ago, next, we started to connect the data in the cloud. So we have now connected BIM. But that wasn't enough. So if we can go next, another module has been introduced, which is an outcome-based BIM. So when we think of the future of BIM, just like BIM 1.0, the one that was introduced firstly, it was 3D parametric modeling. Connected BIM was connecting data to cloud and driving collaboration. Again, that was not enough. That's where Forma was introduced. Next. So what Forma will do is it will realize the future of BIM with an outcome-based approach. We have granular data, AI that will also be present to help us take our project to the next level and cut on cost, time wasted during construction, design, operation phase. Next. Now, Autodesk Forma is the first AEC industry cloud for architects, engineers, contractors, and owners. It's a unified platform for the full project lifecycle. And provides a continuous project ecosystem that spans from design through delivery, construction, and operation. So this is a new unified platform that introduces some rebranding and updates to the familiar products that we all know. Now, Autodesk Construction Cloud has joined Forma. So ACC capabilities are now part of the Forma Industry Cloud, unifying design, construction, workflows in one platform. Next. Now, Autodesk Docs is now Forma Data Management. Forma Data Management is the foundation of Forma. It's Autodesk Cloud-based data management solution. It enables teams to manage project data across the Forma platform and connects early planning, design workflows to downstream delivery and construction. So additionally, a new entitlement for AutoCAD, Revit, Civil 3D, and standalone subscribers, Forma Data Management Essentials offers a feature-limited set of capabilities, providing more AEC customers with a pathway into Forma. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I'm going to break this down one step at a time. So the main thing that we established for now, next please. Next. The main thing that we established now is that ACC, Autodesk Construction Cloud, is Autodesk Forma. So what do I mean by that? Next. Autodesk Forma is now a single ecosystem that keeps everything and everyone connected, from design to operations, from headquarters to job sites. No silos, no gaps, just one connected experience. So there are a few solutions within the Forma platform. We have solutions that have to do with design, such as design collaboration. If you remember, it was called ABC Pro, BIM Collaborate Pro. Now it's design collaboration. We also have model management. For the pre-construction phase, we have quantification, estimating, which we used to use with takeoff. Next, we have build. Build is still called the same. So project management for cost management, quality management, and so on. And lastly, we have operate for the operations phase, which is usually Autodesk Tandem in this case. Now, the platform capabilities, we will build networks, we will manage our documents, we can create insights, we can also use AI in the Autodesk's platform, we can also manage our administrations, we can use mobile application in Forma, and it is an open ecosystem. So one thing that is in common between all of these solutions is the connected data. So all of these solutions have access to a one unified or one common data environment. Next. So since I showed you what Autodesk Forma is right now and how it changed from ACC to Forma, let us break it down into the few modules that we have. So firstly, the most important one of all is Autodesk Forma Data Management, which was previously Autodesk Docs. Now, data management is a common data environment, a CDE. It's designed for AEC projects. It connects teams, tools, workflows, data with a single cloud platform. It makes project files and information accessible from anywhere, whether in the office, at home, or even on the construction site. So we can see this, I don't know if you can see my pen. We can see this cloud. We have Forma Data Management in the middle. And all around, we can see our stakeholders. Sorry, I can't draw perfect circles, but we're going to work with that. So here we have our stakeholders, such as the owner, such as the operator, the architect, the estimator, the capital manager. The whole idea is all of the stakeholders are and have access to the common data environment, the digital thread from or in the project itself. So what it does is it connects teams, tools, and data in one common data environment. Next, please. Okay, so since I have said that nothing moved, everything is just renamed, let me show you what type of changes had happened. So for the projects, they're going to stay in the same place. For the permissions, they're going to keep unchanged. They're going to stay unchanged. For the integrations, they still work perfectly, no worries. For the user interface, it's refresh. It's not rebuilt. It's just new namings here and there. And what's really important is that there are more than 70 new features within Forma, which is really good for those who have been already using it or those who plan on to using it. So next. So again, we have a project structure, folders, permissions that will stay the same. Existing workflows, approval, reviews, not changing. Integrations, BIM 360, bridges, exports, not changing as well. User accounts, license entitlements will stay the same. And lastly, reporting and analytics that you already built will not move and they will stay the same. So I don't know if any one of you used to be a member of BIM 360. BIM 360, the changes was actually drastic. We had to change all of the URLs, the logins. We had to migrate our data. It was a bit chaotic, but now from ACC to Forma, let me tell you what's not changing to make you feel better and more comfortable to use Forma. Now, there is no data migration. All project members, settings, and data remains as is. No changes to URLs, logins, APIs, or even integrations. There are no changes to licenses or user provisioning. No changes to workflows or automation setup in ACC. So everything is still the same. Please don't feel overwhelmed. But what is actually changing is the naming. That we can memorize, of course. So the product brand updates will be listed in a new branding, let's say. So Autodesk Docs is now called Forma Data Management. Autodesk BIM Collaborate Pro is called Forma Design Collaboration. And the rest, they sound the same. No need to memorize anything. So Autodesk Build is called Forma Build. Autodesk Takeoff is called Forma Takeoff. Estimate is still Estimate, and so on. Next. Okay, now let us break each solution within the platform and tell you how you can use each one of them throughout your project. Number one is Forma Data Management. So you can store your files in Forma Data Management, and storing them does not use space on your local machine. This is really important for big companies, even for smaller companies. It's very important for you to know that it's not going to use any space on your local machine or even your server. It provides a scalable cloud storage on Autodesk Forma server. So in Forma Data Management, you can upload, store, manage all project files, both 2D and 3D. They're accessible from any device, anywhere. And please know that you can upload more than 50 different file types on Forma Data Management. Now, it acts as a single source of truth for all team members. It provides one central place for document collaboration and management across the entire project lifecycle. Next. Next is previously called ABC Pro, BIM Collaborate Pro, which is now Design Collaboration. So it starts with the whole process, project building starts with Forma data management. So it starts as a central cloud repository, and using Forma Design Collaboration, it enables you to cloud-based collaboration and management across the project lifecycle. So with Forma Design Collaboration, teams can increase their productivity by co-authoring in Revit, Plan 3D, Civil 3D. So it also provides reviewers with capabilities to evaluate issues, coordinate models, and even derive insights from these processes to inform decisions as well. So ultimately, moving to cloud lowers project costs by reducing risk and IT infrastructure, while saving designers and stakeholders time in accessing work quickly from any location. So for an example, if I was the owner, I want to see what the architect has done so far, I can simply just go to the platform and view the architect's work without having to go through my WhatsApp messages or through emails to get one PDF in hand. Now, many customers have leveraged these capabilities for delivering projects, and we continue to add new value in streamlining digital project delivery with new services. Next. The next solution we're going to talk about is Forma Build. So Forma Build is where execution gets freed. It connects your project, your cost, your site, all in one place. Three things happen when that's done right. First, standardization. No more reinventing every new project, same setup, same structure every time. So second is efficiency. It means that less manual work, less chasing, and faster decisions. And third is alignment. So everyone, office and site, is finally working from the same information, and that's the shift. So you can stop reacting late and start catching issues early on before they become expensive. So that's where Forma Help comes into help. Next. Great. So lastly, we have Forma Takeoff. So Forma Takeoff helps us with generating 2D and 3D quantities from a single solution. Now, firstly, it aligns estimators and construction teams with cloud-based data management. Next is the automation that is enabled within Takeoff. Now, you can save time creating competitive bids by performing more accurate 2D takeoffs and generating automated quantities from 3D models. Lastly, it's insight-driven, so you can leverage a single inventory of 2D and 3D quantities throughout the construction process. So what we want to say right now is a license is not adoption. I believe Bassel can jump on that to give you more insight and more information about this licensing.
All right. So thank you, Toleen. Right now, I think all of us have like a clear look on Forma, on what has changed, on the platform itself, on what it offers as a first kind of an industry cloud of itself. Right now, like Forma, it's not just the usual construction management or the usual design collaboration tool. It's a platform covering all the stages from the conceptualization and planning through pre-constructions to construction and operation finally. There have been a lot of features in the platform that we have not discussed today. This is, by the way, the first webinar of ours this year. During the rest of this year, there will be multiple occasions. We will be sharing a dedicated, specific webinar for each upcoming topic. So for now, what I want to share with you is, all right, you have seen the products, you have seen the platform, you have liked a certain module, so you wanted to buy it. Usually, how the cycle goes in the current market and the current like one of the most common traps is that you have already sent your requirements to the procurement team. The procurement team signs the deal. They check, of course, for the lowest price. The IT rolls out the seats. They give you the seats for the platform, and they mark it as a done. We have already rolled out the platform. We have Forma right now. But having license is like having a gym membership, for example. You never use. You are paying for potential, not results. To get the results, you will have to spend the effort. So spending it in the right way is what we will try to guide you through the rest of today's slides. A license basically is just the permission to log in. It's the first step. It's measured by how like many seats you have filled, how many seats you have aligned. It's not measured by the values those seats bring. So on the right side, leverage is what the platform gives back. So when you actually use it well, those are the metrics or those are the value earned through the structure. It's measured by decisions, not logins, not number of seats, and it compounds with use during all of your organization's projects and departments. So to the next slide. Okay. So during the next couple of slides, let me share with you like where teams usually lose value. Here's like the uncomfortable truths about ACC, Forma, sorry, right now Forma or any other platform. The technology works. It have worked for multiple clients. It does what it says on the box. The problem is almost never the software. It's never the platform. It's usually the people using it. So this is the uncomfortable truth that we all have to be aware of. I have seen teams with every license, every module, every integration turned on, and they are still emailing spreadsheets to each other. For example, they are still communicating offline, communicating out of the box in the shadow processes. So value leaks out through the gaps in the process, not the gaps in the features itself. Let me show you like the 5 patterns we have seen most commonly over and over. Next slide, please. The first pattern that prevent adoption, and all of those patterns like we are sharing with you just to be aware of before making a commitment, or if you have already purchased the license, this is actually where it's best to start taking note of them. Start evaluating yourself, evaluating your teams. All of these questions, it can be asked and shared with your team as well. So the most common pattern that prevent the leveraging or the adoption of the platform is having no defined use cases, for example. So what do I mean by that? This is the most common one. You have seen the features of Forma, you are interested, you buy it, but you have not defined like the basic uh, use case that you want or the decision you need is coming from out of it. So you bought it, you give it to your team, you said, let's go explore its potential. This is not the way to proceed. People will open it, they will poke around, think like, okay, that's a cool platform, and then go back to how they are working. It's a process design failure. You would not hand someone like a platform and expect and say go practice and expect like results. You will have to define your procedures first. What exactly? This is like the first common question I asked before like promoting a single part or module. What do you expect to get out of it? If you are not able to define it clearly, if you are not able, of course, we will help you with sharing that module, but if you are not able to define it clearly, then you have already lost some of the value. Number two is the weak information continuity. We have been talking about that one for a very long time. Right now in the construction industry, still data is being lost. Still, from the start of concept till the handing over, the data passes and gets created from scratch during multiple steps. So there is still, as ISO 19650 calls it, there is still multiple breakers. There's still multiple information drops between the project stages. So using a platform like Forma to get the best value of it, you will have to utilize the features starting from the Forma building design, which helps you with concept design, site analysis, massing studies, environmental modeling, and it had a lot of updates. So if you have seen it like a year or two before, you have to see it again. And we have like expert specialized people who can like we will show as well in the next webinars. You have to start from the concept. You have to go through your design. If you are a contractor, for example, you have to be involved in the full cycle with the owner. Get like in the type of contracts you can get earlier to the project. You can have access to the design while it's still being done to get the best continuity of data across the project, and till the handing over. Having all of those on a single platform, imagine like the benefits, imagine the profitability, the easiness of the handing over process as well. So number three, it's the absence of clear governance and ownership. If you hand someone the platform without a clear expectation, a clear ownership of who's responsible for what, this is actually one of like the most common and annoying part of items, that if you have created all the workflows, you have created all of the use cases you need, but if you have not assigned those parts to, you have not assigned the ownership of those to a certain personas, everyone will assume that this will be done by the digital team, for example. No, this will be done by the site teams. This will be done by whatever team. The digital when everybody assume someone else is responsible, or if someone else is driving the initiative, the car will not move, the platform will not move. This is what we call a governance gap, and you can't close it with like adding more softwares or adding more platforms, adding more items. It can't be solved that way. A clear ownership must be assigned to drive the maximum profit. And we are not done yet. There are two more patterns. So the fourth pattern is the lack of standardization in outputs. For example, right now, let's say we have multiple projects. Every project is handled by a different project manager. Every project manager has his own way on work, has his own working way, has his own templates, has his own like outputs, how it looks. So basically, this is like standardizing is not, in fact, what is needed by the platform. It's not what, sorry, should have been done by the platform. It's what should have been done from the beginning. Every organization have to have its own standards. Having the platform helps you set those standards. But if you still allow every project manager, for example, to have his own look, his own approach, if you don't get them all along at the beginning and set everything, standardize everything on the platform, you will still have a lot of troubles in adoption, and still every new project will look like a new it will take time for the team to get used to it. It will take time to get the value out of it. It will feel like every project is a new implementation or a new approach to the existing platform. So number five, the platform is being used as a standalone activity instead of a connected process, and this is a big one till now. Some people use Forma, treat it like an isolated island, like instead of connected process. Like someone does a certain activity, emails it to the team, and they upload it into Forma, and then maybe just send it by email to the next step. They use Forma as as a stepping base or a stepping stone, instead in isolation, instead of using it to handle the end-to-end information sharing and strategy that defines how the data and decisions flow across the project lifecycle. So just to be clear, if you can't make decisions based on the data you have on the platform, then you have already lost the potential of it. So the key takeaway from what I have been sharing with you right now is none of these are platform problems. They are failures of the process design. They are failures during the initial steps, initial setup as well. Fixing them requires you right now. You have already used Forma. You have already started. You have already have the license and everything, just take a step back, define. Usually, what we do, define couple of use cases. Define by use case, I mean, I want to have, for example, it's not like I want to digitalize all of our RFIs, or for example, or all of our submittals. This is not the use case. The use case is basically you start by the value you want. So, for example, I want to reduce a certain activities time taken to complete using. We have to define the proper full use case, like what do you want to get out of it, how you would get it, and then how you will do it. Not start by I will do this and then see what it will get for me. So basically, fixing those patterns requires the same step: defining use cases, assigning ownership, standardizing outputs, and connecting Forma to the broader project ecosystem. And for those of you who live in the ISO 19650 world, and I know like some of the current attendees do, and some of them are experts from what I see, those basically are all breakdowns in the information continuity. Those are exactly like what I have just been sharing with you. It can be connected to a lot of breakdowns in the information continuity. It's not a buzzword, it's the framework telling us exactly where the chain snapped. And right now, next slide, please. Okay, so right now we will continue building upon what we have been sharing. We will show you what success looks like across the project life cycles. We have been sharing during the past couple of slides, I have been sharing the common patterns you might face, how to handle them, how to take a step back, how to think of the big, broader picture. Right now, Toleen will show us what success looks like across the project lifecycle, and this is the part that most webinars skip, the framework. Uh, so, without further ado, let's go back to Toleen.
Thank you, Bassel. So now we're on to the framework. So these are 4 moves to take this from deployed to actually delivering the value in the exact order. So right now we have 4 layers. I want you to focus with me. I know you might be a little bit tired by now, but it's fine. We're almost done. So these 4 layers are the most important layers for you to ensure that your project is successfully delivering. Now, we will start with layer number 1. And we will go up in the exact order. So it's bottoming up our layers. Layer number 1 is standardize. So I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to ask your team, is every project set up the same way on purpose? Question number 2, or layer number 2, is connect. Does work move through one channel, not 5? So are we using WhatsApp? Are we using email and Forma, or are we just using Forma? So this is a question I want you to ask yourself and your team. Layer number 3, if we're using one channel, I want you to we will jump to govern. And we will ask our team, can leadership see what's working without asking? What do I mean by that? So if, let's say the project manager, do they have to go and ask the architect, the civil engineers, and all of the other team members if the project is working well, or can they only access Forma and just see the insights and know whether the platform is working and know who's actually using Forma, who's actually doing the work? If we know without asking, we will jump to layer number 4 and the last layer, which is compound. And I want you to ask, is each project making the next one easier? What do we mean by that? We mean that is the project that we're working on making the next one easier by we can create templates, or we can export the information from the previous project to the next one. If not, there is a problem. If yes, your project is working fine. So I want to walk you through them again, just to make sure that we understand the 4 layers. And I will break each one for us to understand it easier. Next. So last were the questions. Now the answers. So what do we mean by standardize? Every project is set up the same way. We have either that we are using ISO 19650, or our company has a certain naming standard, folder structure, and so on. Next is connect. So work runs through one channel, not five. As I told you, we're not working through WhatsApp, emails, and different platforms. It's just Forma, one platform. Next is govern. So leaders see what's working without asking. So no need to ask team members about their performance. We can see that through the platform itself. And lastly is compound. Each project makes the next one easier. We can create templates from projects so we can make it easier for us in the future. Now I want to break each one on its own. And I will give you some insights or some stories from customers of ours. Now, we will start with standardize, which is layer number one. So if every project sets up Forma differently, the platform is just a folder of folders. So we have this project, that project. No, we want to make a standardized way of working. So what does it mean? One folder structure, one naming convention, one permission model, project templates. So a new hub launches in hours, not weeks. What do I mean by that? So why it matters? So it's the only layer that other three depend on, which is standardize. Standardize once, and every workflow above gets cheaper to run, faster to onboard, and easier to audit. Without it, we have 50 projects, 50 different shapes, onboarding takes weeks, reports can't roll up, and every project manager reinvents the wheel. Now, I want to give you just a quick story from one of our clients. So we were working with a regional contractor, and they had 47 active projects in ACC, in Forma, 47 different folder structure. We standardized. So the first new project onboarded in 2 days instead of 3 weeks. Imagine the difference and imagine the time it has cut. So I want you to ask your team, if I drop you into a brand new project hub today, can you find the structural drawings in under 30 seconds? If not, we have a problem. We need to standardize. So where this shows, it shows in design coordination. So every discipline publishes models to the same folder with the same naming on the same cadence. Federation just works as is. Next layer is connect. So if the same approval lives in email, WhatsApp, Forma, none of them is the source of truth. What do we mean by that? It means that design, next to coordination, next site, next handover, they all run through one system. Issues, RFIs, submittals, sign-offs, each have one place, not three. So this is what we mean by connect. Why it matters? Connection is what turns Forma from a file store into a workflow engine. That data only compounds when it stays in one channel, not 50 channels or 5 channels. So we need to keep it in one channel. And without it, issues raised in WhatsApp, RFIs in email, snags in a separate application, Forma becomes a passive archive, same noise, fancier folders, noise that Bassel has been talking about all along. Now, then I want you to ask your team, think about your last open RFI. How many channels did it pass through before it was closed? Did it pass through WhatsApp, email, or it was just through Forma? And where this shows up? In construction. So snag based on Forma application at the wall, routed to the right contractor, closed with a photo, no WhatsApp, no spreadsheet. Next. Layer number 3 is govern. So if you can't see it, you can't manage it. What does it mean? Dashboards show adoption across teams and projects. They track issues and RFIs in one place. They review permissions regularly. Leaders rely on data, not opinions. They don't go and ask different team members about this and that. So why it matters? It turns data into clear decisions. It shows what's actually working and what's not. It makes sure that teams are accountable for using the platform. And without it, adoption becomes a guess, not a number. Permissions get very messy. Status updates rely on memory, not on the platform itself or data. Teams slowly go back to mail. So again, we want you to ask your team. You can write these questions now, and we can also send them to you after the webinar. So if I asked who's using Forma the least, could you answer in 5 minutes with proof or not? If they couldn't answer, we also have a problem in the govern layer. So where does this show up? In Insight. So developer reviews 12 projects in one dashboard. They can see aging RFIs, model publishing lag, permission drift without a single status email. Next. Lastly, and the last layer is compound. So each project should make the next one easier. What does this mean? We can save what works, templates, checklists, setups. We can reuse models, drawings, and standards. We can use data exchange to move between tools. Why it matters? Because each project builds on the last. So you don't need to start from zero every time. Your team gets faster over time. So without it, every project seems like a restart. Same mistakes, same delays, data is saved, but never reused. Again, what we can ask our team is, what did our last project make easier for this one? Where it's shown in reusable templates and standards, faster project setups, and teams starting ahead, not from scratch. So next is you can screenshot this slide. It's a summary from the last few slides that we have talked about. So it shows you the 4 layers, what it is, without it, what happens, and where does it show up. So you can screenshot this slide that can help you later on in your project setup.
Okay, so now we're going, let's have a quick break for now. Let's have a poll. So the first one is, where does your team get stuck?
So these options are the ones that we have been talking about. So your team gets stuck in standardizing your projects, creating a one single source of truth, naming standards, or do they get stuck in connect, where approvals and updates are scattered, or they get stuck in governing. So you can't really tell who's using the platform or how well, or do they get stuck in the compound layer, where you need to start the project all over again from scratch, from zero. You need to go ahead and create your project folder structure from zero. So where do your team get stuck?
Okay, so let's end the poll. I'm going to share the results. So far, it's about standardize. Every project looks different. So Toleen, this is a good one for you. I mean, with the topic that you have just did a while ago. And another one is about connect and, of course, govern.
Definitely. No, I want you to feel that this is totally normal and it's also solvable. So as I told you, if you have screenshotted the slides before, this can also help you to solve all of the problems that we right now have. Now, and it's very easy to be solved. Now we can show you right now, how can this be solved? So if you can go back.
Hold on. Let me just get one more poll
Yes.
and we're good to go. Yeah. So which best describe your role?
We have a lot of BIM managers, BIM leads.
Yeah. Okay, so let's close the poll. Yeah, so you're correct. We have a lot of BIM managers and digital transformation lead. And as we mentioned a while ago, this topic is actually for you guys. So let's go back. Oh.
So for the last part, it's going to be more of your success structured. So success with Accienta, what changes after today. Now, we just shared this slide once again for you if you want to take a screenshot. Now, let's get to the fourth and last part. Next, please. Bassel, you can walk us through the success roadmap for an example.
Okay, so as I told you at the beginning, like we are going to share with you the approaches that we usually follow. This is like how I personally prefer to approach any new implementation to Forma. So first, you start with a mobilization meeting, which is basically what we talked about today. It's to get to know your use cases. It's to get to know your targets, your deployment goals, your details, like of your organization. This success roadmap is the one I would like you to follow, whether you are personally leading the digital transformation in your company and your organization, or if you are like approaching an external partner, whether it's us or another. This is usually the success roadmap to follow. Start by setting up the goals through the mobilization meeting, and then we go to the alignment, a short alignment phase. You will go and sit with your team, ask them the questions that Toleen have just shared, agree on the exact definition of what success looks like from each time, from yours and your team's departments, not just in general. It can be just like our target can be just like we will digitalize all of our departments or all of our processes. It have to be specific. The next step after that is to enable your team work directly with them. Start walking them through the setup. Make sure they are comfortable using it in the early phases before pushing it to site. And when you push it to site, when you deploy it on site, keep it limited first to maybe a pilot project or two. Support those project teams closely. Start setting up the guide, the manuals, and all of that. And finally, close the loop by measuring the success, measuring what you have measured during the mobilization meeting, you have specified during the mobilization meeting as your goals, measuring it compared to the results from the closeout meeting. So this is not just a setup exercise. It's usually like how we structure our approaches. So make sure you actually follow similar steps to get the best value from the platform. Next slide, please. And then Toleen will continue. You are on mute, Toleen.
Oh, great. So in this slide, we can show you how your first 30 days are mapped. Now, with us, firstly, we have in the first week, we have kickoff calls, account structures, user provisioning, success plan drafted. In week number 2, we start working on trainings, whether they were role based. We start talking to BIM managers, design leads, project engineers. Week number 3, we have a pilot project configured in ACC, BIM Collaborate Pro, which is now Forma. Week number 4, we go live on the pilot project, 30-day review, and month 2 planning. So we don't move on unless the pilot project is live in your Autodesk environment. 70% of the licenses users have logged in, core workflows are identified and configured, and lastly, success plan is signed off by your sponsor. Next. And this is just a schedule of how often we talk to our clients and why. So for an example, in week number 1, we have a welcome plus kickoff call to align on the pilot, stakeholders, success criteria. Now, of course, you can screenshot this one as well if you feel like you want this to be happening within your company. And this is just a schedule that we use with our clients. Next. Now, what changes on your projects, not just in the platform? So in design collaborations, clashes are caught in the model, not on site. Coordination cycles are shortened. Document control, so you have one single source of truth. No more which versions are we building from. Field to office flow. So the site and design teams are working from the same data on the same date. Handover readiness, clean digital handover at project close, not scrambled. Leader visibility, so portfolio status without chasing numbers your PMO can act on, and lastly, team confidence. So people want to use the tools, not just tolerate them. So this is the value we deliver. This is the value that this webinar delivers. How we showed you when you have your 4 layers, when you figure out where the noise is coming from. So this was the whole goal from our webinar. Next. Now, there are 3 commitments that we make in writing, and we promise. Firstly, transparency. Second, speed. And lastly, partnership. Next. So now it's the Q&A section of the webinar. You can either write it down in the Q&A box, or you can choose to raise your hand, can unmute you. We can also, if you forgot the question that you need to ask, you can also drop them down in the email. So please, Isabel.
Someone in the questions were asking to share the slide where standardize and govern to just take a screenshot. So if you can go back to it while others raise questions.
Of course.
Here you go.
And of course, if you have any problem with any of these layers, you can go ahead and ask us. You can send us emails. I believe you have our emails from the invitation, right, Isabel?
Yes, of course. And we also have this contact. So any more questions so far? So this is our contact us. You can directly contact Toleen or Bassel. These are their email addresses, and send them whatever queries you might have regarding today's sessions. And of course, they're going to respond to you with the exact answers related to that. And for that, we end the session. So thank you so much for attending these sessions. And of course, like what Bassel mentioned a while ago, there's going to be few more webinar series. So please stay tuned. And for that, I'm ending the...
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.